Talk to me about this film. It's so beautiful. I told you yesterday, but I really just, the way that you made the music, the main
Mm-hmm.
character throughout was so brilliant and so beautiful. Um, I read that you started actually filming this back in, I think, 20, I wrote it down, 20, yeah, but that you came up with like everything that could have gone wrong did, and somehow that led to it being a longer feature. I'd just love to hear the journey you were on to create this.
Yeah, so I came up with the idea in 2006. I was a senior in college, and like I said, I had become a part of that culture and just being in the spaces. So I was like, man, somebody needs to document this. So once I graduated, I was in New York for a couple of years, but I was still going back and forth from Baltimore. But then I decided to move back to Baltimore around 2008, and that's when I started like kind of taking my music journey more serious. That's really when TT the Artist was formulated, like around 2008. So that's kind of like from 2008 to 2011, I was trying to figure out what this was, how would it look. 2011, I was able to like kind of test the waters out, and I was going to do like a short version of the film because I didn't even have no idea about filmmaking, how to
Yeah.
do a feature film or anything. And so just a lot of trial and error, things that like didn't work out. We lost footage on hard drives blowing out. It was crazy. But around 2016 was when grants started to open up for local filmmakers in
Mm,
Baltimore. So I just started proposing to grants, and of course, it came with a lot of rejection. But once I
really?
found my first one, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I
it
guess I
was,
really have no idea what it's like to apply for a grant.
yeah,
So,
because they were like saying they felt that I was very ambitious and that I was asking not for enough money. Like they were like, you can't for 10K, you can't shoot a feature film. And in my mind,
so
I was being resourceful. I was like, I sure can,
wait, but
but
that
then I
seems so
found out why.
asinine anyway, though. Like, oh, you've got a great idea, but like, you didn't ask for enough money, so you don't get any of it. Like, hello, just
Yeah,
anything
they say
helps.
like, yeah. So they were like, but then they said, what you could do is switch your proposal to using this 10K to do like a proof of concept or a trailer.
Hmm.
So that's what I ended up doing, and then I took that smaller piece and pitched it for a larger grant through this grant called the Saws Ants Innovative Fund through Johns Hopkins Film School.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting the full grant. So we were able to get to the production of it. And then later on, I met Issa Rae through a
Yeah.
partnership,
Oh,
and she came on board as a producer for the film.
I'm such a fan of everything that she does. So since the awkward black girl days, I've just been like, you're
Yeah,
amazing.
she's great.
Yeah. What did you learn about yourself in this process? I mean, it has to have just
Um,
been such a huge undertaking to do.
I learned that, if you see things through, they will truly happen, not to quit, not to give up. It was tough at times, but I'm happy that I saw it through because now it's just more conversations around the artists involved and more light shed on the culture, and people are starting to really, really have pride in the city again and themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this is about overall.
Yeah. I mean, I was really struck by you don't kind of put a rose colored lens over everything, right? Like you're very honest about the hardship that everyone in this film is facing. But you're not focusing on the victimhood. You're focusing on the fire inside each person that refuses to just let it be dampened. Like
Mhm.
you are, like I said, I wanted to get up and dance watching all these people dance. I wanted to laugh when they were being funny. I cried when that scene where the woman is dancing in the graveyard, that just like pushed me
Yeah.
over the edge, and it's so beautiful. How does it feel to show Baltimore in that way, and have you heard from the people of Baltimore how it felt for them to just see themselves represented in probably a truer way than they're usually represented, I could imagine?
Yeah, I think it felt great because I feel like it was long overdue. We always see so many negative imagery on Baltimore in the media. I think this piece really shows the city, and it's one of the few pieces that's really about Baltimore. And like you see it, you see the museum, you see the inner harbor, you see the
Yeah.
market, and you see the people, right? And so, of course, I feel like I'm supported by my community at this point. I feel like everybody involved has taken it and been able to benefit off something from it. And so I see so much more happening. I see the resources already coming to the artists that were involved. People are working on new projects. Now they're fueled and creating their own content. And that's what this was about. It was about sparking that light within everybody to just get proactive about what your dreams are, realizing your dreams and knowing that you can do it even on a basic level. You can make the efforts to start today and make a change in your community.
Absolutely. I'm a big proponent of that. I mean, even just with this stream, it's like I didn't know what I was doing. I just started doing it, and you figure it out as you go along. And like, you don't have to wait for someone to be like, it's perfect. Like, get messy. I don't know. Fuck around.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love
and
to.
It happens. It happened in a meeting I was in. It happened in a meeting I was in, or whatever. It happened in a meeting. It always happens. Technology is just always that.
I know, it's our friend. No, I know, it's fine. Life happens. We're live.
Always.
Yeah. Oh, some nice comments in the chat as well. I think one part of the film that quite obviously is very intense, but very playing on both sides of the emotions that I was talking about. The scene where you've got the cop and the man rapping in front of the stadium, I believe, and you're just able to say so much with just the visual, and it goes both ways. Him dancing, and then at the end with his handgun, and I'd love to hear from you what some of the scenes are that you're really proud of, and how you collaborated with everyone featured in the film to make it happen.
Yeah. It just kind of evolved to this performance art moment. I was like, this is a documentary, which a lot of people are like, wait, it's a documentary, but it's a documentary. It's a historical artifact that, profiles Baltimore City and its community. But performance art is used as an element, so we have this performance art. We're trying to make a statement. We're showing the social climate that, exists in Baltimore and America, and what a lot of Black people and people of color have to experience from police, exciting these type of ego-driven police, basically executions publicly. So that's what that was about. That's what that piece was about. And so it was just kind of like the people around, they were all real, experiencing it in real time. They didn't even know if it was real or fake at first.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and the dance just was a moment where it's like the police is kind of flexing on him, and so he's like showing out his dance, So that's what that whole piece was about, I think the point was pretty straightforward, but I like the approach to it, like performance art is a great way, I feel like, to create dialogue.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting too. I like that you were just kind of doing that in the middle of the city. I guess it's not like you had them shut the street down or whatever. Were there other moments when filming that you kind of got to see people's reaction live to the dances or whatever was happening?
Yeah, when we did the scene at the harbor when they're in all the red jumpsuit, sweatsuits. That was another scene. Actually, that was like a reclaiming our space moment, like flash mob style. But at that same day, there was a protest going on across the street that just popped up out of nowhere.
Wow.
So it was like we were filming and then there's a protest happening. I thought it was really interesting that was taking place.
That is crazy. The energy must have just been like over here.